BoardMaker not only gives you the tools to create activities, it also gives you the tools to customize properties like color, fonts, shapes, and layout. The Properties panel in the BoardMaker editor is the perfect place to easily customize the look of the page or the buttons on the page. When an activity is open in the editor, the Properties panel will automatically show to the right. Properties change based on the type of button selected. Let's look at some of the properties available, starting with the whole page. To access the properties for the page, select the white space. Now, under Properties, you'll see the properties for the page. The first option is Layout. Choose a layout for the buttons from the drop-down. The last option will create a grid. Properties will change below the layout depending on the layout selected. If Grid is selected, you'll see the ability to change the number of rows and columns. The next page property is Background. Select Add Symbol. Type in a word. Choose if you want to search for symbols, My Media, or the web. Click Enter on your keyboard. Select a symbol or digital image and click Select. By default, the symbol will stretch to fill the entire page. You can also choose actual size or tile. Below is the option for a fill color. Select the box and select a background color. Select OK. To select a gradient color, select the white box, choose a color, and select OK. Then select the gradient pattern you wish to use in the background. The next properties are for border. Select a border color by selecting the black box. Then choose a color and select OK. Choose the border width by typing a number between 0 and 8. Click outside the number box to finalize the change. Finally, you can choose the consistency of the border. Choose between solid, dots, dashes, or a combination. Next are the properties for standard buttons. You can change the properties of one button by selecting it, or change the properties for several buttons by selecting them as a group. To select the buttons as a group, click and drag a rectangle through all of the buttons. When you release your mouse, you'll see a blue fence around all the buttons. Now the panel will show properties for standard buttons. Under Content, the first option is Edit Symbol. Select this button to draw on the symbol, add fill colors, shapes, erase parts of the symbol, rotate, add filters, or change skin tones. Next, determine where the words will be in relation to the symbol. Words can be above, below, symbol only, to the left, to the right, or word only. Type a number to add a margin. Unselect Maintain Aspect if you want to change the height to width image ratio. Below is Font. Select a font from the drop-down. Select a size by choosing a bigger or smaller number. Select buttons to make the font bold, italicized, or underlined. Then choose a layout. For font color, select the black box, choose a color, and select OK. To highlight the words on the page, select the white box, select a color, and select OK. Next is Background. To change the button background color, select the white box. Select a color and select OK. To add a gradient, choose the white box and select a color. Next is Border. Choose a color for the border by selecting the black drop-down and choosing a color. The next set of properties are for advanced action editing. See the video on actions to learn more about these. Now, let's look at the properties for a Symbolate button. When a Symbolate button is selected, the properties will change to show those for Symbolate. Most of the properties are the same as those for regular buttons, but under Content, there are a few unique to this button type. Next to Symbolate, select the drop-down that says All. This allows you to choose which words you want to symbolate. We know that when learning to read, using Symbolate can be a deterrent, so you may only want to symbolate certain words. Choose All, nouns, verbs, adjectives, content words, words not on a list that you create, words on that list that you created, or non-common words that are found in the user manual. Once you make your selection, only those words will show a symbol. Next, choose a symbol location. Should the symbols be on top or below the words? Type a number under symbol height to make your symbols bigger or smaller. Select the box next to all same width to space all words and punctuation equally. Finally, if you'd like to add words to a word list, you can add them by clicking the Word List button. The rest of the properties are the same as those of standard buttons. As you can see, the Properties panel gives you a ton of ways to customize the look of your activity. Be sure to check out our other videos to learn more about Boardmaker. Boardmaker, the power to achieve.